So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk you guys through this process, and before I start, just let me quickly show you some stats about WordPress and why we're using it. Number one, the reason why we use WordPress, it's one of the most popular CMSs that are available online. There's a lot of benefits and features within WordPress, but there's also some pitfalls. But in general, if you're new to internet marketing, WordPress is the simplest and easiest way to start. And this is why we built the WP Video Silo plugin, was to make the building of your site architecture very simple, and I'm going to show you how to do this shortly. So let's look at a few reasons why we like WordPress. One, it's free, it doesn't add to our expense. Two, the platform is very easy to work, it's extendable, meaning you can buy plugins that perform specific functions, and you can create almost any type of website that you want. Three, the learning curve is minimal. You can choose to go code, but you're looking at 6 months to a year, depending on how quickly you adapt to writing code. And number four, it's cost effective. We can run this on WP Engine, and when you buy and set up your account at WP Engine, by default they install a WP WordPress installation on for you. Okay, so let's look at how we go about doing this. The first thing we have to do is we have to get web hosting and we have to register the domain. So like I said before, we're going to use namecheap.com. We're going to register the domain. Then two, if you want to see if it's actually working, there's a link there to verify your domain. Number three, we're going to use WP Engine for hosting. It's a managed solution and it's got great support. So if you're new to internet marketing, or you're new to building a website, or if you've got your own business, this is probably one of the better ways to go about it. The company's been online for a very long time, and they take care of all the technical stuff and make it super easy for you to build your site and promote and market your business. So let's have a quick look at what we're going to do. We're going to go to wpengine.com. We're going to look at the plans. Depending on your needs, you're going to choose what plan best suits you, and then you'll choose that hosting plan. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to start setting up your domain. What will happen is when we set up the WP Engine domain account, it will give us a subdomain that will give us the default installation. The next thing we're going to do is, once we fill in our account details there, we check out our package information, we finish the registration, we'll create a password and then log into WP Engine. The next thing we'll do is, once we've got this all set up, we'll set up our website. By default, the WordPress installation is installed on WP Engine, but for folks who choose not to use WP Engine, you'll probably have to install your WordPress. There'll either be cPanel or Plus, typically on hosted solutions or managed solutions, if you're using different services that provide hosting, or if you're a bit more advanced, you'll probably manually have to install the WordPress file. Okay, but for the guys that are using WP Engine, it's all done, it's easy for you, it's all set up nice and quick. So let's look at this process. You're going to hit WP Engine, and basically all you want to do is click on pricing. Once you get on your pricing, they'll come up. If you're a small business or you're just starting off, get the cheapest one, the 35 package, because as your business grows and you need more space, you can either add more sites or you can actually increase the amount of volume. So if you start off and you got a little bit of traffic and your site gets popular, you need more traffic, you can quickly upgrade seamlessly to the next bundle, and the support will help you, but you can also do it through the interface. We're not going to cover that in this process right now. So if we select the 35 bundle and we say click here on get started, we'll then come in and we'll start our plan. So we'll basically get annual or monthly. You can choose what you want to do there. If you want to build multiple sites on the domain, so for example, you want to have yourmoneysite.com, or you want to have subdomain.site.com, whatever you want to do. If you want to have 3 subdomains, then all you do is you can then upgrade by adding different add-ons. And once you're finished, you'll see the summary of what you're setting up. So the default is good for guys who are just starting off, and what's important here is the SSL certificate comes with it. So that's saving you another $110 if you're trying to get a SSL by yourself for the year. You get this basically built into the package for you. So it's very cost effective, it's easy to set up, and once again you've got support, which is a key thing. So anytime you get a problem, you can just contact the support in the live chat. They'll get straight back to you and they'll assist you, and that's what I love about WP Engine. It's really great. So now that you've basically signed up, you can see that it says account completed, we're building sites in progress, and basically they'll email you off all your information, your card details there, what you've bought. And over here, what we're going to basically do is we're going to jump into the portal, and then later on we're going to jump into the WordPress. So you'll click on this link over here, and this will bring you to the login. So the first time you come here, you'll see your email and your password. You'll basically go in and fill that in. You'll set your new password up, and then you'll log into WP Engine. Now when you log into WP Engine, you'll come on a user portal, which will give you all the information that you need over here, just stuff and information that's important. And what you're going to do is basically click on your site and then click on add new site. When you add a new site, you'll come into the interface that looks like this. Okay, so this is where we're going to slow down a little bit. So when you're starting off, you can see this is a production website that I have here. I'm on the overview screen. Over here, we've got enter domain and we've got the Cname. Now this Cname, typically when you log in for the first time, will be a subdomain name that you've chosen, because when you sign up, you'll basically put in a domain name that you like. It'll give you a subdomain name with that .wpengine.com. WP Engine does not do domains, and this is why we use Namecheap. So now that we've got our WP Engine account open, we're going to jump into Namecheap. We're going to do a search for a domain. When you do the search, you'll see what comes back, and whatever you choose, you'll basically add it to your cart. Once you've added your domain to the cart, you get 1 year's registration. I suggest turning on the auto renew. Turn on Who is God. This will protect your private information, and you don't need the premium DNS because WP Manage is going to help that, and then the CDN is going to also give you the DNS protection that you need over here. Now that you've done this, set up an account if you are new to Namecheap. If you don't, you can just log in and then you can buy your domain. So there you can see you got the domain name, you got your WHOIS protection there, and you're ready to rock. We're going to click the manage button, and when we get into manage, we're going to see our domain names. So once we find a domain name, we're going to click on manage. This is going to bring us into the domain list, details, advanced DNS, and this is where we're going to create a Cname. Okay, so you notice over here on the Cname record, you're going to change this to @ and you're going to paste what you got in WP Engine. The subdomain Cname over there will get pasted in there. The next step, what you're going to do is you can change your time to live to 1 minute, and you're going to click the little green checkbox to essentially accept that. The next thing you're going to do is this URL redirect record, you're going to delete it. So you're going to click on this delete button. Once you've done that, we're going to add a new record, and this will be the www. Okay. So when we finish, we set up two Cnames, one with the host of arec at and one with the host of www. This will be the Cname that you've got from WP Engine, and you can keep that at 1 minute, and that's at automatic. And that is essentially your domain setup. What you're going to do next is you're going to jump across to WP Engine, and under domains and redirects, you're going to essentially see the domain that you had set up there, and you're going to click on add new domain, and you're going to add this domain over here just with the root. Then you're going to click schedule transfer, and you get that by hovering over this little question mark, and you're going to click that. What that's going to do is going to run off and check the DNS that you just set up for your name. So over here you can see we're going to add the domain name. We're going to add www. So remember, the first thing we did is we put domain.com, and now we're coming back and we're adding a www. We're going to click add domain, and we should end up with domains and redirects like this. So you'll have the original domain account that you set up when you set up your account. You're going to have the TLD, the top level domain.com, and then you're going to have www.domain.com, whatever you set up there. What you want to do is set the www as your primary, and then we're going to set up a redirect. And the way you can set up the redirect is simply by going and clicking on add redirect on the TLD, and we're going to say take the domain name.com and redirect it to whatever your domains are. Okay, so just copy that setup like that, click save changes, and then that'll have it all sorted out. The next thing you want to do is, once that's done, is hop across to the SSL. You want to click on this link. Once you've clicked that, you click on this get free let's encrypt certificate. Simply click this button, and then what you can do here is you want to click add certificate. So when you click on that, that's basically going to set up your SSL. It's as simple as that. Then now that we've done that, there's two things we've done. We've gone to Namecheap, we set up a domain, we edited the first Cname, and put the primary domain name which we found on our WP Engine dashboard into that Cname. We then deleted the redirect on Namecheap. We added a new Cname record with www, and we pasted the primary domain name in there. So we ended up with two Cnames, one with @ and one with www. Then we came in and redid the redirect, and now we set up the SSL. So that's our domain setup. Now by default WordPress is set up, and we can click on WP Add-on. So if you think about it, W Engine specializes in WordPress. So obviously they're going to use WordPress as the installation for this stuff. And what they do is they install it, they set up the caching, they help you set up the CDN with a few clicks of a mouse. Super easy. We're going to cover all these things. So don't stress about anything, guys. This is very, very simple. The first thing you want to do is when you go up, click on that button, click on the lost password. Why are we doing this? We want to reset this password over here. Put your email in and click generate new password. Once you're in, what you'll notice at the top here is you've got WP Engine. So what you can do is click on this, and it's going to show you the general settings and the staging. Now here under general settings, you can see dynamic pages and database cache control. WP Engine caches everything, and this is for site speed, and it's also to reduce the loads on the servers. So whenever you're making changes, you can either go to the CDN and disable caching, or you can come into WP Engine and scroll lower down and turn it off, or you can actually go into the WP Engine control and turn it off. Make the changes, then come here, click purge all caches, reset file permissions if you've finished editing and uploading all your files. Go back, turn your caching on, and you should see your pages. So if a page is not working properly, say for example you got a checkout page, what you need to do with WP Engine is on your checkout pages that you don't want cached, contact support, give them the URLs or the pages that you want excluded, and they will do it for you. There's no way in the system to exclude pages. You must do it through the support console. Okay, so now we've got our hosting and our server set up, we've got our WordPress installation installed, we can log in, we've got a brand new password for it. Now let's jump into the next stages and see what we're going to be doing with the website. The next thing you do is you want to design your site. What's it going to look like? So you're going to basically log in, go to your dashboard, you're going to go to appearances, themes, access free themes, and then you can install your themes. Now with WP Engine, they give you access to the Genius framework, Genesis simple themes, and you can simply download these and upload these themes by clicking this upload button on appearances, themes, upload. You can upload the framework and you can upload all the skins to this here, or you can use the default WordPress themes that come up. Everybody asks me, what themes do you like to use? You know, I change things all the time depending on what I'm building, depending on what the requirement is, depending on who the audience I'm speaking to. That will determine what are good themes to use. Genesis framework is very light, very fast, very flexible. I suggest those. If you're a bit more advanced, you can come out and choose any of the other things over here. In future videos, I'm going to show you guys how we pick up on the themes and install them. So now that we've got our theme that we've chosen installed, the next thing we're going to go do is install some plugins. What is a plugin? For the people new to WordPress, a plugin is essentially a little block of code that gets written that performs a specific function with WordPress. It fits into the WordPress framework, the code is designed to talk to it, and it's very, very simple to install a plugin. All you got to do is come to your plugins page, click add plugin, upload or grab whatever you search for, and then click install, and it'll install the plugin. Now what I want to warn you guys about is getting into the habit of installing hundreds of plugins. If you're new to WordPress, you tend to want to install every single plugin that you can find, but what you need to realize is that for every plugin that you install, a lot of times, depending on how the plugin's loaded, every time you have a page refresh, all this code has got to execute to make that function happen. The more code and plugins you install, the heavier the site gets, the slower the database responds, which means you get slower page loads. Do not just install plugins all the time. Okay? Think about functionality, identify what performs a specific task, and then install plugins like that. And what I've done is I've just listed the plugins that I use as my defaults. You're welcome to use anything else you want. A lot of folks ask me what SEO plugin you're using. I typically use SEO Ultimate, but you're free to use WordPress, you're free to use Yoast, you can use whatever SEO plugin you want. So the flavored plugins that we use is Cookie Notice. What is Cookie Notice for? Basically, I use Cookie Notice to inform people that if they hit my site, they're going to get cookied. If they don't want to be cookied, they must click no thanks, and we will exclude them from being cookied. This works well with the GDPR, and it allows us to basically stay legal and make all the governments of the world happy that once you regulate everything. The next thing we've got is AMP. AMP is a plugin that basically creates very, very low light files that are presented to mobile phones. Okay, so the plugin is just called AMP. The next thing I use is Header and Footer Code Manager. What this plugin allows me to do is to inject little bits of code that I want to use for tracking and for pixeling and for retargeting into either the header or the footer of a page or site-wide. So it helps me manage my code in specific places. Remember, we want to have pages as light as possible. We don't want to have hundreds of things executing. The next thing we use is Monster Insights. If people want to watch analytics, Monster Insights is really great because it does the analytics. While you're working, you can see all your form conversions, you can see your demographics, you can see your traffic as it's coming in, you can see what are the most popular pages, you can see which pages have the highest bounce rates all within WordPress as you're working on your site. If you're new to analytics, this is a great plugin and it'll get you to understand what's going on very, very quickly, and I'll show you guys some of that later on. Further to this, it gives you great features for GDPR, where if people come from specific GDPR countries, mostly European countries, then it gives them the ability to include or exclude their private information that they use. So this basically also helps you stay legitimate with all the regulations surrounding EU traffic. The next thing we use is Short Pixel. What is Short Pixel? Short Pixel is an automated plugin that when we upload images, it condenses them and crushes them and makes them as small as possible so that they can load as fast as possible for the user, whether on the internet, through a desktop, or if they're browsing through the mobile. This refines and optimizes all your pictures, which helps increase page speed. Okay, so the last one we use is WP Forms. Why do I like WP Forms? WP Forms allows us to very simply create contact forms, surveys, quizzes. We can do basically a lot of stuff pertaining to forms. So if you look at what we got there, we got one that manages a cookie, one plugin that manages condensing our pages so that they're mobile friendly. We have one plugin that controls all the injection of code through the header and the footer. We have one plugin that controls analytics. We have one plugin that controls crushing images so that they're small and light as possible. And then finally, we've got the WP Forms, which controls how we communicate with our customers. So if people write us an email, they can post us a form. If we want to find information from our clients, we can create a page and create a survey. We can do a lot of things with WP Forms, and more importantly, we can connect to Zapier with WP Forms. Now, some of these plugins are paid, some of them are free. It's up to you guys to use what you want. This is my default that I use, and I find between those plugins, I get as much control that I need for a website. I have no need for anything else. Okay, so now that we've got our plugins installed, now we can start talking about the site architecture. What I'm going to be doing in step 4 is I'm going to show you how I go about building the silo architecture with WP Video Silo Builder. And in these videos that are going to follow up shortly after this, we're going to basically look at site architecture with the manual silo builder. We're going to show you how to use the importer for Digital Marketers Toolbox. And at this stage here, what I'm going to do is actually go to my drone project that we spoke about in previous videos when we were doing affiliate marketing. And I'm going to create a quick site with that because drones are quite interesting and I love the technology. So once we've got our architecture set up, this is where we get to creating our content. And in this session, we're going to be talking about adding and editing pages. We're going to be adding pages through the menu. We're going to show you how to do the WP Silo plugin. We're going to do adding and editing posts. We're going to speak about categories. We're going to show you how to change your titles and your taglines. We're going to show you how to disassemble your comments in your posts and pages. And then we're basically going to set up a static front page. We're going to show you how to do that. So all of this is going to happen when we use the WP Video Silo plugin